Good evening, everybody over here at Hello Mag. I'm Gaby Roslin, and as usual now, I think the past couple of months, this might even be longer, we've been doing live for you, Hello Let's Gab, with some fantastic guests that we've had over the weeks. And tonight, oh my word, I mean, really fantastic. We have got Frankie and Wayne Bridge together, live from their home. Plus, all the way from America, we got John Barrowman will be joining us over here. And of course, we've got our snack attack queen, the wonderful Melissa Hemsley. So she will be on at the end with 2 snack attacks. And also she's going to be highlighting some fantastic people. We're going to be talking to her about that because it has been an extraordinary week. A week full of heartbreak, a week full of passion. So of course we're going to be talking about that as well. So thank you wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining us every week. It's very exciting that you're here, and I love doing this. This really is a sort of dream come true, being able to do a live Friday night show with Hello Magazine. As I say every week, one of the reasons that I absolutely love being involved with Hello Magazine is that their hashtag hello to kindness is very important to me, and I think it should be to everybody, and especially this week. So I salute you, Hello Magazine, for having that. Just incredible. Okay, so let's see if Frankie and Wayne are there. I'm going to press the button, see if they are there. Right, let's have a look. Frankie and Wayne aren't there yet, but we will keep talking until they are there. So I know that Frankie and Wayne, I've actually already messaged them today. Very sweetly, they are standing by, which is wonderful. So Frankie and Wayne, I'm just waiting to see if their names come up. Not yet. And as I said, John Barrowman, all the way in America, and he's been posting some very powerful things as well. Some videos, very powerful videos after this week. They really have been quite incredible. I'm going to tap again, see if they are there, because numbers keep coming up at the bottom. There's lovely Frankie. Hello, Frankie. Come on in. Come on in. There they are. She says we're here, and they're just about to come up. Hello, lovely. Look at you. How are you both?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you, and really lovely to see you, Frankie. I've known you a long time.
Yeah.
You're just lovely. You're just lovely. And Wayne, there I was seeing you in the jungle.
Yes.
There's a nervous laugh there.
Yeah.
The memories
What's
of
coming
that.
next?
So we're going to chat about all sorts of things and everything be going on, but I think we have to start with, of course, what's been happening around the world. And it's been, as I said just now, heartbreaking, very passionate, and there's a lot of fear going around, there's a lot of hate going around, but there's also a lot of love. So looking over the week's news, I mean, how do you feel about what you've been witnessing?
It's horrendous. I just can't believe that the awful part of it, I can't believe that is still happening in our world. But I think the nice thing is seeing how it's forcing everyone to come together and have it, and knowing that we all need to do something about it, isn't it?
Yeah, I just think a lot of people need educating. Someone said to me, all lives matter. But to some people, black lives don't actually matter, which is absolutely disgusting.
I agree.
So I feel quite emotional when I talk about it. So I just find it really difficult that people can think like that. It's just disgusting, to be honest. And, we should all just be, the human race, but we aren't. And so it needs to work that we're all just one race. And the fact that people think we're not is just disgraceful, really.
It really is.
I think it's amazing to see how people are acknowledging it and not ignoring it and not being too afraid to address it, and kind of acknowledging and putting their hands up and saying we need to be educated, and parents are saying we need to educate our children, and that's exactly what we will do, hopefully. And I think that will be a bigger thing as time goes on.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, and it is about education. And also, there's been a lot of posts about people saying that that hate is taught. You don't come out of the womb and think, oh, I don't like that person because of their color. You just got to remember to be kind to everybody, no matter what colour their skin, no matter their sexuality, no matter their religion. You know, there's a lot of good in the world as well, and we have to remember that. There really is.
Yeah.
And thank you for that. I can tell, Wayne, when you talked about that, you get very emotional. Of course, in football, there's been a lot to talk about all of that. But let's go back to the jungle, because your reaction when I said that was quite something.
Yeah, it's just it's really just out of character for me to go and do something like that. Really, I was so nervous.
Really? Did you enjoy it though?
Loved it, absolutely loved it, to be honest. I had a great group. I really, really loved it. I enjoyed it so much more than I thought I would.
Yeah, he went backwards and forwards about whether or not he should do it for so long that in the end I was like, just do it, please, just do it. And now he's so obsessed that he feels envious of people when they're going in, and I'm like, I just don't get it.
I just love to go and do it all over again. Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of people, obviously we got John Barrowman after, so I'll ask him as well. But a lot of people who do it, and Strictly, which we'll talk to you about, Frankie, say that it changes their life. Is it as dramatic as that for you? Was it as dramatic as that for you?
Maybe a little bit. I said, because for me, I was more nervous just about the cameras and stuff. I don't like putting myself in front of the camera too much. So I've become more comfortable with that. And I met some great people, and I did probably come out of it more confident. And the fact that, you know, I got a lot of good reactions from people and around the street and stuff. So it was nice. It was nice to come out and get that.
Yeah, I wanted him to do it because when I first got with Wayne, there was that typical stigma of the fact that he's a footballer, so he must be an idiot and not a very nice person. And I said to you at one point, didn't I? I was like, selfishly, I want you to do it so that people can see why I married you, and you know, see him as a person rather than like, oh, just a lout that plays football or something.
I'm trying to push her to do it so I get a free holiday to Australia, but she won't do it.
You won't do it.
You know what?
Never say never, I say.
I would love to do it. It's always been like the other reality show that I'd said like it would be cool to do. But for me, now that we have the boys, it's such a long time away without any contact. So that is number one for me. That's what puts me off. But also, I don't even like ketchup, Gabby. Like, I am so terrified of food, like trying things. So imagine me, if I got one of those challenges, I would be a nightmare.
Yeah, she would struggle massively. I couldn't see her getting many stars, to be honest. I think she would really struggle.
Oh, there's me. I want him to do it because he's great.
Ketchup, and you think of kangaroos bits, you suddenly go, to me, the two couldn't be more different. I think you could cope with ketchup compared to the kangaroos bit.
Yeah, you would struggle with any eating challenge.
Yeah, just sure. any eating stuff. I'm really funny with textures and things like that, which would probably mean that everyone would blooming vote for me, wouldn't they?
They would. They'd make you do it. Well, actually, you've done Strictly, which, as you know, I love that show. Wayne, would you do Strictly?
I do think about it, but I also wouldn't want to do it and bring the trophy home, because obviously Frankie never brought the trophy home. So
go on.
I was feeling a bit bad. I was feeling a bit bad on her. No, to be honest, I'm not a very good dancer. I reckon if you ask me after a few beers, I'd probably say yes. But I'm sure. Never say never.
Oh, well, there might be a full swap. So, Frankie, your time on Strictly, I remember speaking to you about it then, and you loved it, didn't you?
I did love it. It's a show that I've always watched like as a family. You know, when I was still at home with my parents, and my nan and granddad loved it, and my grandparents like loved ballroom dancing. And when I was growing up, my granddad would always try to get us to have a little dance with him and stuff. So I think for me, it was something I knew I'd always wanted to do. And I was always obsessed with the costumes. So I just was so happy to do it. And I did love every second of it, but it is so much harder than you think. You know, it's 3 months. I was doing like 10 hours training. I had Parker turned 1 while I was on the show. And then I was pregnant by the end of the show. So we had a lot going on. But yeah, I loved it. It's everything everyone says. It's a complete bubble. And it's one that I'm glad I was in.
Oh, and I loved watching you on that. Every time I spoke to you, you're just a natural. There's something, I don't know, you have that, you float. I really get to see it. You do. Actually, talking of floating, somebody just said, that's a great idea because we've got John on. Wayne, you should do dancing on ice.
Oh.
That's the one.
I don't know.
He's actually,
Never say never.
You're really good at ice skating.
I'm not bad. I used to roller skate a lot as a kid, so I'm not bad at skating.
I think the thing with that though is the fear factor comes into that. I think people don't get as enough credit for doing that show, because with Strictly, obviously, you've got the fear of being live on TV, something going wrong, and doing lifts and stuff, which I was horrendous at and we never did. So on a pair of skates over ice, you've got that danger factor as well. I just think, oh no.
You wait. I bet the first thing that John says when he comes on is, "Yes, Wayne, come on in, Wayne." I love that idea.
I would chuck myself in. I'd give 100%, and anything I'd do, I'd be a nightmare, I think, to work with. I find it hard to pick up dance moves.
Yeah. Yeah,
she can teach you. She can help you at home. The kids.
Oh, I've tried, Gabby. It's hard work.
Get you two on TikTok. So, okay, Frankie, the other thing that I really want to talk to you about is your book and your openness about your mental health. And I salute you and applaud you for what you've done. And I've read all the interviews, and I just think it's so powerful. Such honesty coming from somebody like you, how people will perceive you. There you were as a pop star, and you're going on TV, and you're smiling and all the rest of it, and yet what was going on and the angst that was going on, and now you will help so many people through what you've done. It's remarkable. It's a very brave thing to do. Thank you. It's one of those things I don't know, I just felt that so much is being done for mental health now, and it is a conversation that people are starting to talk about more, and the stigma is slowly going, but I found I still wasn't being that honest about my mental health, so I decided to open up a bit more online, and just the massive response I got from that, I just realized that we still have a way to go. And I think it's not just about what other people think of people with mental health, it's what you think about yourself if you're suffering with mental health. And that was a big part of my book, is I wanted to help people not to feel alone, to find pieces in my book that maybe explained parts of themselves, but then also I had my psychiatrist and my psychologist involved, and they explained things in a medical way, which I felt had to be in there, because that was the way that helped me to normalize things, to make myself understand what's happening medically, instead of, oh, I think I'm just crazy. Actually, okay, this is a medical thing and this is an illness, and it just makes it easier to understand, I think. So reading it, Wayne, did you read the book as she was doing it? And I mean, obviously you were there, and it's you're very honest about in the interviews about how, you know, Wayne found it so he was so proud and found it very difficult, but the book, were you 100%, you said yes, do this, or did you find was it painful for you?
No, not really. If I have to be honest, I've read parts of it, but I haven't read all of it, because it felt like you're just reliving lots of bits, because I know how she feels, because she was always so open. I was just literally so proud, because I think she's open anyway and she speaks so well, but I was just so proud that she just sat down and wrote that book by herself. And like, I wouldn't know where to start when it comes to putting pen to paper. And like, I think I read the first, as you were going, I read the first chapter, and I was just like, it's amazing. And every time that her management or someone was reading it, or her friends would read it, and, you know, they were crying and feeling emotional and so proud of her, but she was just like, she didn't accept, she didn't realise how much people liked it.
Oh, I think it's amazing. And you know, the relationship that you two have got, you can just see there's a real sort of trust, and you're lovely together.
We're not all the time.
Oh, thank goodness for that. That would be very worrying.
Everyone likes a moan every now and again.
Yeah. No, you know what? It's so funny, out of all the things that I've done, Gabby, that was like the thing. I feel like he's like a parent, in that whenever he's with someone he hasn't seen for a while, he's like, oh yes, I told them about your book, or I'll ring him and he'll be like, oh, I was just telling them about your book, and I can tell he's proud of me for it. So it is nice. And when the book went into the Sunday Times bestseller, I was excited and I was happy about it, but it didn't really sink in until I told Wayne, and Wayne told me how proud he was and how excited he sounded for me. Then I just burst into tears, and then it really sunk in. So that was nice.
It's a wonderful book. I've read it. I think it's really honest. It's very raw. It's very powerful, but it also makes a lot of sense. And how do you feel about people who just, very flippantly go, oh, I'm feeling so depressed? There are a lot of people who have been as honest as you've been and say, I wish people wouldn't use that word. And then there are other people who say, you know what, everybody has the right to feel down.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, I don't take offense by it. I'm not that easily offended, but I can see why it would annoy people. But I think, yes, loads of people feel depressed, loads of people feel down. They don't necessarily have to have depression. We can all go through stages of our lives of feeling down. It's not just, oh, I have that illness, so you can't feel that way. But also, it's a word to some people, if you haven't experienced it, you don't know how horrendous it can be. And you might feel that you're depressed. It's a bit like if I'm tired and I say, oh, I'm absolutely shattered. I might not be absolutely shattered. I might just be a little bit tired, but it's a word to describe how I'm feeling, So I don't know. I think as much as people are trying to understand, I think we also have to give people a chance to understand and give them time to properly get it, because I think even when you suffer yourself, I've had to learn about it. So if someone's never experienced it, I can't expect them to understand in one conversation.
It's great some of the feedback she gets of like people that you've encouraged people to talk and get help. It is so good.
That's what I was going to say. So the most important thing really is talking, isn't it? Is being honest and talking.
Massively,
yeah, it sounds like such a cliche, and it can be so annoying to hear when you're really struggling, but it honestly is that, like I always say, as much as people who follow me online or who have read the book and they say thank you and that it's helped them, for me, I always say, well, when I speak out, and the response I get helps me not to feel alone as well. So it kind of works in both ways. And I wouldn't necessarily be where I am today without telling Wayne how I was feeling, or going to my doctor, or going to hospital and opening up, to people following me and Saturday's fans and stuff. So it's made a big difference in my life. So it is a prime example that it does help.
That's so great to hear. How has lockdown been for you and your kids? How's it been as a family?
I feel like we started off and it was like a real novelty because we didn't know how long it was going to be. I just got back from 10 days in Namibia. I went straight into a book tour, so I had not been at home. So it was a bit of that, like, careful what you wish for. Then I was stuck at home. And it was really nice at first. Then we started annoying each other. And now we've found this really nice groove of like, it's really nice to be at home together. It's really nice to be with the kids, but a little bit fed up with the kids now.
Yes, it's not fed up with the kids. I think it's just the homeschooling.
Yeah.
It's like, if they were at school with the teacher, they would do their work with no issues because we know what they're like at school. And then when it comes to us getting them to do something, they just push your buttons, and it's just hard. You know what kids are like.
Yeah, but it has been so nice. You have to try and look at things on a nicer side, and it has been really nice to all be at home together, and I have really appreciated that.
Their kids are loving it.
Yeah.
Like, they love it. They're not interested in going back to school yet.
No, and they don't seem to miss places. I just miss people.
Yeah, I think we all do. I think that's something, it's that face-to-face contact. And all of this is wonderful, but it's the actual sort of physical thing, isn't it? You hugging people. So have you been doing lots of Zoom and phone calls and FaceTimes and all of that with friends and family?
We do like a family quiz every week. Wayne loves a Zoom with his mates because it's an excuse to have a drink.
To be honest, I think lockdown's been worse for me. I've probably drunk more in lockdown because I've seen my mates more. So, yeah, that's probably been worse
But
for me.
I find Zoom a little bit annoying because I feel like you all talk over each other. I'm a bit
Yeah.
zoomed out. I'm not
I've
gonna
had
lie.
cooking class. We started doing cooking classes every week on Zoom with my friends because one of them's a chef, Tom Sellers. So he's done about 7 cooking classes now, which has been great.
Which
So
again,
what have you
Gabby,
learned
he
to
says
cook?
is to learn to cook, but it's also another excuse to cook. To
No,
drink.
he says you should drink wine while you cook. You've got to enjoy it. Like,
Okay, so while you're drinking your wine, what have you learned to cook for the family then, Wayne?
what have we cooked? I cooked ribber beef, which was amazing, wasn't it?
It was amazing.
A chicken lasagna.
Bit weird.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be weird chicken lasagna, but I really loved it. It was really nice. What else? There was a lamb I cooked.
You did those fried chicken things.
I've cooked some really fancy sauces, but I couldn't remember the names of them. I'd have to find out what they are again, but they were really good. Yeah, it's been really good. And the lads have recorded it. Yeah, we did a roast. The lads have recorded it, so we can go back to it any time and cook it all again. It's all there.
So
Oh,
I've
yeah,
got your
good.
future here. So we have Lisa and John Theroux doing their cooking show. We now need Frankie and Wayne doing the all cooking, all dancing on ice.
Yes, with a little bit of drinking.
A little bit of drinking, yes.
Yeah.
Well, carry on being as wonderful as you are. Thank you both for joining us. You are really lovely, and thank you for being so honest and opening up. And to have a lovely weekend and stay safe.
Andrew,
Thank you. Thanks a
Gabby.
lot.
Bye. Thank you very much. Oh, how lovely. There we are. Well, John Barrowman is up next. So, John Barrowman, he might be able to just book Wayne onto Dancing on Ice. There we go. Now I know John is there. I've seen his name. Where are you, John? There he is. John Barrowman coming in all the way from America now. Our editor, Rosie, is watching. Hello, good evening, lovely Rosie. There you are. Good evening to you. Oh.
By the way, I just want to say, because I don't know if Frankie and Wayne will still be listening, but I just literally text one of our exec producers and sent a message to her to say that he's interested.
Yes!
And that he can roller skate. And Wayne, I expect you to possibly be one of the footballers who has gone really, really far.
Yes!
If you get in there.
Yes!
And I'll mentor you because I skated myself, so.
And you've been in the jungle as well. John, do you know what? How lovely to see you. You and I have known each other a very long time. When we first met, you were naked.
Correct. And that's how most people meet me. But yes, I was naked. I was doing Hair in the West End, the 25th anniversary revival of Hair. And I was naked. But I think that was the only performance that I mean, probably it was in the dressing room. Even, Gabby, it was so long ago, I can't remember. But the character I played wasn't supposed to be naked.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to be naked. And as I know, the only reason they wanted me to be naked and some others in there was because of the television background that we had started to build, and they wanted to sensationalize it. And I said, look, the character doesn't get naked, so there's no need for me to get naked. However, on the last matinee, in the last show, I stripped right down.
And I remember it well. And let's leave it there. John, that's the thing. So I knew you as musical theatre. And then, of course, TV. And so you're an actor, you're a singer, you're a performer, you're a presenter. You've been very outspoken there, which we will get to about the news. We have to talk about America. You are Mr. Entertainment, aren't you?
Well, that's it. It's just that people forget that when you get into a business, and it's the entertainment business, it doesn't. Some people just want to do one thing. That's perfectly fine. However, I didn't want to just do one thing. For me, the entertainment business encapsulates everything that you just said: presenting, musical theater, dramas, comedies, writing books, recording albums. It's all that. If I have something that I'm able to do and people are willing to, get involved with it, listen to it, watch it, then why shouldn't we? It's like, I've always said this, and people will get sick of me saying it. It's like asking a plumber to do one thing. You're only allowed to plumb sinks. You can't do that. He's got to do toilets. He's got to do faucets. He's got to do water heaters. He's got to do all that stuff. You have to be able to be diverse. And I think the more diverse we are, even like in work, the more diverse we are in our culture, as we spread that kind of diversity throughout everything, just the better people we are.
Actually, look, you've gone there. So let's go to that, because I think the posts that you've put out, some of the videos you put out have been really powerful, and thank you for doing that. This week has been, as I said, with Frankie and Wayne, it's been heartbreaking. The past couple of weeks, heartbreaking, but also passionate, and a feeling of coming together and yet hate, and it's all of those emotions together. What is it like actually in America? What is the feeling like in the States?
Well, I say this from that we are in Palm Springs, which is an hour and a half, 2 hours from Los Angeles. We're in an area where there was a march, and it was a very peaceful march, and there's been no looting or rioting here. However, Los Angeles is close by. You kind of get angry when you watch it on television. I mean, for obviously George Floyd, who had the police officer's knee on his neck and for 8 to 9 minutes, and now, and died in front of us on television. Horrific. Yeah. And there's no way that cannot, I'm just sorry, there's no way that cannot piss you off as a human being, right? Yeah. And so I wasn't able to go to marches, but the only way I felt that I could contribute with my platform was to post online. I've also been going to friends of mine, young friend of mine, Chester Lockhart, who is a very big gay activist and Black Lives Matter activist. And I would post to them and post to my nephew, thank you for being in the marches. Thank you for doing that, because we can't be there. You're there for us also to help. And I'm using social media in the best way that I can. Now, it's interesting to see people's reactions, because some people are on board with it and with me, and others are angry that I'm doing what they deem to be political. But I've tried not to make them political. I've tried to make it so that it's making you aware of what's going on. And some people are really angry at me for doing that. And I just don't get it, Gabby. Those are
the people you don't need following you.
Well, I did say that, but they have a right to their opinion. However, when it's an opinion that is about someone that doesn't look at someone being murdered, someone, like Armand Aubrey, who was running in the street, and 2 white racist men decided that they were the police, pulled out their guns and shot him, and then called him, as we've now found out, the N-word as he was lying there dying. Sorry, it's completely wrong. And I know that Frankie and Wayne said the same thing. People are saying every life matters. No, every life doesn't matter until Black lives matter to all of us. And we can move on after this. Sorry to get really passionate. No, absolutely. But we need to take that on board, and I've started even going back and reading. I've put a book list up on my Instagram and Twitter for people to look at if they want to read about things, learn things about things like the 13th Amendment. There's a great documentary on Netflix about the 13th Amendment. Incredible. It's incredible. Yeah. And if you want to start learning because you don't know enough, these are the things that you start to do. And it's good to talk about it. And if somebody gets upset about it, I was talking with someone who I know very well, and they were trying to say something about the people who were rioting, that, and stealing and rioting and the defamation of property is not right. However, we have to look at the reasons as why they're doing it, why people are choosing to do that, why, because they don't have a voice. They're not being listened to, and they've reached a point, as human beings, they've reached a point where they're screaming, and that's the way they scream. Yeah. And I'm saying this now, forgive me if I've said some words that may not sound right, but I'm still in the learning process myself.
Well, we all are. Yeah. We have to keep learning and keep learning. And my love.
I remind people, Gabby, sorry, I remind people that I've always stood up for gay rights. I've always put my neck on the line for gay rights. And when, you know, the HIV crisis hit the gay community, people need to remember, young people, young gay men and women who ask me and they're like, you know, why do you get so angry about stuff? And I'm like, because you don't remember that Stonewall, you know, that happened in 1969 on I think it's Christopher Street, Stonewall. That was a riot. Because, and the gay rights movement came out of that riot because gay men and women, trans men and women were tired of the police taking advantage of them and just brutally beating them and hurting them. And that was it. We had had enough. So,
but it's so recent that history is so recent is horrific that it's that close to history. It's such recent history.
Yeah. Well, taking it back to the Black Lives Matter issue, the Jim Crow laws, that is like current in history. That might not, you know, but it's so close. And particularly when the president of the United States says things like, if they cross, I'm paraphrasing here, if they cross the line, they're going to meet the biggest, meanest dogs. That's a vision in our heads as human beings of seeing black men and women during some riots in the 60s getting attacked by dogs. That's what comes to mind. So he knows what he's saying. He's inciting violence. And I just have to say, then we can move on. Never before have I ever seen the most appalling thing where the president of the United States, meant to be one of the biggest and the freest countries in the world, turns on his own people, gasses them, puts the military against them because they were exercising their First Amendment right. And I say this because I know a lot of Americans are watching this right now. No matter, even if you voted for him, which we will have a discussion about that later, because I want to know why, and want to know if you would still vote for him, a legit discussion. You can't sit there and not be angry, because if he's taking that right away, it will affect you. It will affect everybody.
Good for you, John. No, don't apologize. Don't apologize about being passionate.
And thank you for Hello Magazine for giving us this platform.
No,
really.
please. So John, let's go back to all the performing things that you do. So I know you from your acting and your singing. I remember seeing you in West End shows, and you are phenomenal actor and singer. I've presented shows. I've been on shows that you presented, but I think for me, it's now people see you differently. It's very interesting, and I'm not talking about.
They see me as older.
No. Because you're a fashion designer, and can the person who keeps saying nasty things just stop? That you're a fashion designer, that we've seen you as a judge on Dancing on Ice, we've seen you as all of those things, and it's just like you've grown up, and I actually mean that in a really nice way. I mean, Captain Jack, as you know, you and I have talked about it. I hope that there's more Captain Jack. You didn't tell me if there was.
I have no idea.
Yes, more Captain Jack. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah.
I just got a phone call this morning about something, and I was very excited about it. That's all I'll say.
Oh, that's fantastic news. So when are you coming back to film that you can't
no, I'm not, nothing to be filmed, but you tried to get me there. I know you. I was meant to actually be in the UK now, working and doing something, and I'd already meant to have been in Australia, New Zealand, working, you know, because I love doing the conventions all over the world for the sci-fi shows, for Doctor Who, Torchwood, and Arrow, and all the different things that I've been on. But everything's been postponed and canceled. And when lockdown happened, I was actually on a plane coming over when they said flights are now being canceled to the United States. And the pilot came on and he said, we're just waiting to see if we are getting permission to go forward or if we're going to have to turn back. So I was in that kind of limbo area. But there's literally, as you know, nothing happening. Yeah. Everything has stopped, and you know, they're trying to figure out how to make everything work. And the one thing that you know, for people, and Hello Magazine has always been a great supporter of the theater world, and with the red carpets and everything that happened, the theater world is about to be decimated.
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
It's about to, we could lose such iconic theater venues that could just go under and never appear again, like the Royal Opera House, you know, the Albert Hall, even, you know, the Palladium. I'm throwing all the general ones in there too, but theaters and actors are suffering big time. And I don't think the government is taking that on board. We need to, you know, theater's a big part of education, life, and entertainment.
Well, theatre and television and film is what everybody has turned to at the moment during lockdown. And actually, I was interviewing a very famous actress at the weekend on my radio show, and she was saying everybody thinks that actors are rich. Most actors, on the whole, are jobbing actors, as everybody calls them. So they're going from job to job to job, and in between, they work in restaurants. Now the restaurants have closed as well. The bars have closed. So they don't have anything. They don't know when their next job is going to be. And it's not just the people, the actors, it's the people behind the scenes, because you can never do a show on stage or in TV
crew
without anybody. Yeah.
Even things down to the people, the men and women who are the ushers and the ticket people and the box office people in the theaters. There's a huge, also the restaurants outside that thrive on, you know, the pre-theater dinners before everybody goes in. It's a huge, big chain, but hopefully people will get a kick. You know, the government will get a kick and start to move things on. So, yeah. And also, I just saw someone say right there, I am reading some of the comments, local theaters. Local theaters make most of their money over pantomime season. So we need to, I would hope that things will be back up and running for Panto. That would be wouldn't that be a wonderful Christmas if we were able to celebrate like that?
So do you know what's next for you? Or is that, it's still just, is it up there and you don't know?
There's things that I was meant to be doing that are now being postponed till next year. But my argument with a lot of the postponement, they want you to then book. But what if something comes in between? You're asking me to sit and hold, and a lot of actors are being asked to do this. And we're saying, well, you should be giving us a retaining fee to hold, because we're not earning any money. You know, and listen, I say that, and I know people will be going, well, but you look at you're in Palm Springs. That's right, I'm in Palm Springs, I'm here, I'm very lucky where I am. However, my income is stopped.
Yeah.
We're going into savings. I still have people that I have to pay, employees that of another company that I have with a business partner, and I have to pay her, I have to pay. So there's things, it's just all different and different levels, and I'm not asking for sympathy, but the thing is, there's a lot of actor friends of mine and people, everybody's unemployed. We're unemployed.
Yeah.
I've never said that in my life.
But you will be again, especially when you have Wayne Bridges on Dancing on Ice.
Yes, well, there's things that, you know, I'm one of those grafters that I will try to create work for myself. So I've been having conversations with people thinking of how to do things that we can, you know, get ourselves doing stuff again. And, you know, it will get back to normal. It's just going to take a little while.
Yeah, it will. It will. It'll be new. It'll be different, but we'll get through it. How was the operation? Everyone's saying you had your operation, your jaw.
Yeah, I go in for another checkup to make sure it's okay. I could show you, but you probably wouldn't be able to see it. I had see that gap?
Yeah. I
had that tooth. It had to be extracted because it was deteriorating in my jaw, and it had caused a huge abscess that I didn't know I had. And I went in, they literally had to extract it, and then, without getting too graphic, go into my bone of my jaw, clean it all out. I had a bone graft. I can't open my jaw as much as I would like to, but I go in to get the stitches and stuff taken out in a couple of, it's sore. I'm trying to push through the pain. I'm not on painkillers because I don't want to be put on anything that's kind of addictive.
So I've just sing? Can you still sing?
No, I can't sing at the moment because if I extend my jaw past there, I could stretch the stitches and pop them.
No.
And it's really important that I Scott loves it because I'm not walking around the house singing.
I'm upset because I wanted you to give us a little bit of something, a little song.
I can give you a little bit of something, but yeah. Scott, what should I sing? I'm not singing the Chicholina song. No. What can I sing?
How's Scott?
He's fine. Scott, come say hello.
Hey,
You're lucky because
Scott.
he walked through earlier and he was just out of the shower and I said, you cannot do that. As much as Gabby will love it, you cannot do it.
Look at you. How are you doing, Scott? You well?
Yeah, I'm loving it. It's really great. We've got great weather. We got the pool. We got the dogs. So just Good
to
he's really enjoying the lockdown. He finds it really kind of relaxing.
Yeah, it's nice because you're more relaxed, aren't you? So it feels like.
But he says he's not singing, Scott. We got to get a little something for him singing us.
What should I sing? I don't know. How about? No, I don't want to. Give me something to sing, Gabby. Ask from. Name something and I'll sing it. Go.
Anything goes.
In olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked on as something shocking, but now God knows anything goes. That's it.
You can still do it. Yeah.
No, I know I can still sing, but it's just that I can't belt it as much now because of the jaw. He's laughing
you're going
at
to do another album. Surely you'll do another album.
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, the people that I do my fan base that buy the albums, they're used to buying CDs, but CDs don't sell. So the thing that we have to look at is getting those people to get on digitally. If I do an album, it'll probably be, I've done the Christmas album. I'd like to do a pure musical theater album. I've never really. It's been ages, and I'd like to do stuff like from taking something from Wicked, something like from Hamilton, and actually maybe take requests from everybody and build it that way. And so it's songs that people want to hear. Ooh, songs the people want to hear.
There's your new album. Perfect. And I can see the tour now. And then, it's perfect. John, thank you.
You're welcome.
Are you still doing your suits?
Yes, Dobell. Yeah, JB by Dobell. There's we were, this all happening. We were going to be doing a big launch alongside the James Bond film, which has been postponed because we were launching, dinner suits and things like that. But yeah, JB by Dobell will be back once this is all taken care of. But you can still go to the Dobell website and get the suits. They're fantastic suits. They're absolutely amazing, and they're very, very reasonably priced. A suit for under 200 pounds.
And I've seen you in them and you look gorgeous. John, thank you as always. Give Scott a big kiss and stay safe. And I will see you when you're back here.
Ciao. Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. Hello.
Take care.
Bye. Wait, bye, Scotty.
Oh, bye, guys. Goodness me. Wow. Very, very powerful. John is a very, very passionate guy. I've known him for a very long time. And he sung. I didn't think we were going to get him to sing, which is wonderful. So now we go over to Melissa Hemsley now, and she will be giving us our snack attacks. Melissa, are you there? Melissa Hemsley, you wonderful lady, she's the queen of kitchens, so she will be giving us our snack attacks for the week. Goodness me, Melissa, what a show today.
Hi, Gabby. Hi, hello. Hi, everybody. You're right.
What a show. I mean, the passion. Hearing from Wayne and Frankie, what they said at the top was very passionate. And then Frankie being so honest about her mental health, which is amazing. I think we're going to see Wayne on Dancing on Ice. And then John was so passionate and forthright about what's been happening. And I also want to congratulate you on your amazing feed on Instagram through this week. I know you weren't sure about doing this, but you feel strongly that you want to give a platform to certain people. And I know you went on the demonstration in Hyde Park. How was it?
Oh, it was, I don't even know what words to describe, because obviously it was incredibly sad and important. And I felt it was just so important to be there. And it was my first time out. And, Henry and I went with masks on and everybody taking responsibility to social distance. So it was sad and important, but it was also wonderful and it was peaceful. and everybody was helping each other out. We took spare masks and we were giving them out, and people had donated water, and it was wonderful. And you know, we made our sign said Black Lives Matter. And then, yeah, you and I were texting, and I said to you, I don't know if I'm going to come on, because I had said to myself that last weekend, I cancelled all my own events, and I thought it was so important to use the time to educate myself, because I felt incredibly ignorant and angry at myself for not knowing enough and not doing enough. Anyway, enough about me. I then thought, right, moving on. I'm learning, and I'm going to keep on learning. What can I do action-wise? And you and I were texting, and we said, okay, brilliant. Well, we always do stacks inspired by the guest. Well, today I'm going to use my time with you to talk to you about 3 amazing women. One who has Nigerian heritage, one with Caribbean, and one with Ghanaian, and talk about the amazing food, because they've been doing this for ages, and I've been following them, but I didn't know enough about their food, and I'm still learning. And so I just wanted to show you 3 lovely recipes. Shall I show you?
I love this. You can tell everybody who they are so we can also follow.
Absolutely. So and then maybe I will also on your page write their Instagram handle. So the first one, Zoe Ajonyu. I hope I pronounced it. Zoe Ajonyu. She's at Ghana Kitchen. She has it was a restaurant, it's a pop-up, it's a residency, but what she's been doing, and she's so fantastic, has been the whole of lockdown cooking every single day for NHS workers, mainly around East London. So if anyone wants to support her on crowdfunder, please go for it. And I was looking up her recipes, and this is one of them. Can you see? I've eaten half the bowl already. It's Zoe at Ghana's Kitchen on Instagram, and her crowdfunder. It's a Ghanaian guacamole. And
what's the difference between a Ghanaian guacamole and a Mexican?
Good question. Well, I'm going to go and say the Ghanaian one is even more delicious, because I love my guacamole. Zoe advises keeping it chunky, which I like because there's something to bite into, as well as red onion and chili and lime and avocado. We've also got cinnamon, cayenne pepper and smoked paprika, coriander, which is what you might find in a Mexican guacamole. And she also recommends chives too. And then she puts peanuts on top, but I only had cashews. So there's some cashews on top.
Oh, wow. I love all of those
colours.
Okay, so Henry has to do the taste test.
It's pretty spicy, Henry. Right, Henry, come in. Right. Oh, he's come around, Henry. He's looking very handsome today, if I do say so.
Hello, lovely Henry. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a listen, see what you think.
It's nice and chunky.
Really good.
Really good. Oh, it's delicious.
That.
So that's
Ghanaian guacamole.
Ghanaian guacamole, and it's at Ghana's Kitchen, and please check out what she's doing on crowdfunder. And if you're
somebody just said, is she on Facebook? Do you know if she's on Facebook?
I reckon she must be on Facebook too. Absolutely. But she's definitely on Instagram. And if you're a food company, because I know food people follow us, maybe you could donate some food that she could cook with. That would be amazing.
Brilliant.
She's doing it all off her own back. Then I thought about a drink, and I know Gabby's always interested in a non-alcoholic drink. So over here, I have got a little hibiscus. Have you ever had hibiscus flower drink?
No, I haven't. I know what they are, but I've never drunk it.
Okay, here you go, Henry. Let's pass that to Henry. So there's a wonderful girl called Lope Ario, Lopeariyo, and she describes her food as a union of Nigerian and English. This is hibiscus flowers. She uses fresh and dried in her book. Her book is called Hibiscus. Sorry, Zoe's also got a book called Ghana Kitchen. Lope's book is called Hibiscus. And I just saw it sold out on the big website, whose name we shall not name. But now's the time to support your independent bookshop. I know mine, Flops Books in East London, is delivering, so support them. And I've been falling in love and marked up. So hibiscus flowers. So what I did was, shall I show it in case people don't know what it looks like? What they look like?
Please.
Here you go. Just lovely, like crunchy, dried tea leaves. And then I put them in a jug. This colour's now muted because this is my second round of it. And I just left it, and I just did that. And then now I've got like a cordial almost, and it's sour and lovely. I've added lime juice.
What would it remind me of?
Cranberry. Cranberry, I'd say. But way better than cranberry. But just like cranberry, I added a bit of raw honey, Gabby. And then I actually also, I brewed up some ginger, because that's my mother's Filipino tea. And I've combined hibiscus and ginger together.
Oh, lovely.
And Gabby, that would keep you all weekend. So, you could just keep getting it out of the fridge. Final shout out, and we'll carry on next Friday, shouting out more amazing Black women in space and men. This is my friend Rachel Amma. She's got roots from she's Londoner, but roots from the Caribbean in Sierra Leone, and it's vegan too. So we're not vegan, but we love vegetables. And I used 2 of her recipes. She had a lovely roasted red pepper dip, and then she had it with sun-dried tomatoes, and I blitzed it together, and then I've topped it with sumac, which is a lemony tart berry. I bet you've got sumac in your cupboard, Gabby.
I do, and I've only used it because of you. So this is, you say it's tomato and red pepper?
Yeah, so roasted red pepper and sun-dried tomatoes, but I didn't have sun-dried tomatoes, so I roasted some tomatoes too and blitzed it all together.
That's it, just those 2 things.
Oh, so, and a bit of garlic too. And then I put some chili oil on top and the sumac. And the sumac just looks like just a little red mix like that. And it's used in Middle Eastern cooking and some African cooking. And it's
very nice. It's an unusual taste, and I really like it. It gives a real sort of little pungent kick.
It gives a little kick. Henry, would you like to dip a cherry tomato in there?
I would.
We've got lots of veg in. We just got our veg box delivered, so we've got loads of veg in.
Okay, Henry, let's find out.
That's amazing.
You haven't given us a thumbs up this week.
It's because I had the dip on my fingers and I was licking it off.
Right. Okay.
Thumbs up.
We got the thumbs up. And what did you think of the hibiscus tea, please, Henry? You didn't say, you just disappeared.
It was very fresh. It was like cranberry, but better. It was like fresh, bit more savoury than cranberry. Yeah. Really, really nice.
Oh, I'm going to try that.
Oh, it's so delicious. And also, it's tart. So you just remember you can add sparkling water or something to even it out if you like. And I just love the colour too. So that's Ghana Kitchen Zoe. You've got Lope, Lopeariyo on Instagram. Her book's Hibiscus. Zoe's is Ghana Kitchen. And then Rachel Amma's book is called Vegan Eat. And they're all brilliant women to follow.
That's fantastic. So will you put it up, and then I will put it up on my feed as well at Gaby Roslin, and then we can share it, and then I'll follow them as well, and it'll be everybody together.
Fantastic.
Thanks,
Gabby.
You are wonderful. I'll see you next week.
Love you, Gabby.
Bye,
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you
Bye.
later.
Bye. Wonderful Melissa Hemsley there. Such a great idea. What a lovely thing to do for those 3 people as well. Thank you so much for watching, as you do every week. I'm not going to tell you who's on next week, because one of them is confirmed and one isn't yet. So very fabulous people. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Hello Magazine, for getting me and allowing me to do this, because I do enjoy it so much. And don't forget Hello's hashtag, which I think is very important right now. Hashtag Hello to Kindness. Have a lovely weekend, everybody. We'll be back next week, 6 o'clock, for more Hello Let's Gab. Good night, and thank you, and stay safe. Bye-bye, everybody.